Luo Feng led the way, and the Wu Xian God King used the sky-hidden escape technique to lead the team to the nearby area. Luo Feng looked into the distance. In the distance ahead, there were several swaying purple flowers, emitting a little purple light, which had a strong attraction to practitioners like Luo Feng. The rare treasures produced in the dream domain are of great benefit to the lives of our origin continent. Emperor Gui Su observed, "This is a relatively common, purple heart realm flower. Each plant is worth 3 million merits. From a distance, there are a total of 7 purple heart realm flowers. The value of treasures on the origin continent is evaluated based on the contributions of the 2 ancient kingdoms." "Where are the creatures from the dream domain?" asked the Wu Xian God King. "Over there." Luo Feng pointed to the distance. "Around those flowers, the seemingly ordinary trees are actually plant life. Once you get close, you will be besieged by 9 plant life." Luo Feng pointed out the 9 inconspicuous trees. Emperor Gui Su looked at them and said, "It's not difficult to deal with them, but you have to be careful not to affect the treasures. As agreed beforehand, Sister Yuntian will cast the poison mist. Brother Wu Xian and I will do it. Brother Luo, he will protect the safety of these treasures." Wu Xian, Yuntian, and Luo Feng all nodded. Luo Feng knew very well that in terms of the mysterious moves, he was far inferior to Wu Xian God King and Emperor Gui Su. His advantage was that he had many clones and could resist. So at the critical moment, he could entangle the dream creatures and try his best to protect those treasures. Get started. Using the hidden sky escape technique, the 4 of them quickly approached the purple flowers. Invisible rules began to ripple, and the figures of the 4 people, including Luo Feng, appeared. Under the guidance of the life rules of the 9 big trees, huge branches turned into big hands and covered them. There were also tree roots rushing out from the ground and wrapping around Luo Feng and the others. In the dream domain, the various treasures that are bred seem to be the key to the operation of the dream domain. Once you get close to the treasure, the operating rules of the dream domain will make any escape method appear. Even the alien existences of the 2 Worlds Palace, the 10,000 Laws Building, and the Time and Space Lone Boat will be forced to appear by the operating rules of the dream domain when they get close to the treasure. Although Luo Feng came to the dream domain for the first time, he could already feel the operating rules within the dream domain. The operating rules of the dream domain are very unique and completely different from the supreme rules of the origin continent. The operating rules of the dream domain were not as perfect as the supreme rules of the origin continent, but the level was also very high, far surpassing the caged lives of Luo Feng and his group. The 9-headed tree life, the 3-headed strong one, is more terrifying than the Tian Kuan Kingdom Lord, and the 6-headed weak one is also invincible first-level God King. It's just that their moves are relatively stupid and their intelligence is relatively low, which is also the common feature of all dream domain creatures. At this moment, the lives of the 9 big trees were being eroded invisibly. The bodies of all these big trees were eroded and damaged. The 6 weak ones were eroded with a lot of holes almost instantly, and the strength of the 3 strong ones was also greatly damaged due to the erosion. What a terrible poison! Luo Feng was very surprised when he saw this scene. "I heard that this poison not only corrodes the body but also the soul. The God King of the Thunder Ancient Kingdom was poisoned, and his soul was instantly extinct. He died completely and didn't even have time to reincarnate. This is the Yuntian God King. Her poison is not any poison under the supreme rule. It is a poison excavated from the chaotic origin bloodline. A horrifying poison. Even if only a small amount can be used, all life forms below the ultimate level are afraid of this poison, including Emperor Gui Su and Wu Xian God King. They must also be dealt with caution. It's invisible and colorless, and we can't see how it's performed. All these creatures in the dream domain are affected." Luo Feng understood why the Samsara building made an exception and recruited a first-level God King. 3 horrifying thunders struck the 3 powerful tree lives, leaving them broken in an instant. Emperor Gui Su showed 8 arms, each of which held a weapon. The power of each weapon was extremely terrifying. The 8 arms attacked at the same time, and in the blink of an eye, the 3 broken tree lives were completely shattered and annihilated. The Wu Xian God King was even faster. He only used 6 swords in succession, and those 6 swords killed the 6 weaker tree creatures whose strength had been greatly damaged. Luo Feng used the power of the world to protect the treasure, and was ready to resist the impact with his body. Fortunately, Emperor Gui Su and Wu Xian God King acted decisively and did not affect the flowers and plants nearby. Emperor Gui Su, according to intelligence, is a person who cultivates the great way of the origin of matter, but his 8 arms, can unleash 8 kinds of moves such as thunder, blood, fire, and water. With the coordination of these 8 moves, even the second-level God King cannot withstand it. Luo Feng could sense the horror of the coordination of these 8 moves. In terms of strength, he can fight against powerful plant life in a one-on-one fight. But to destroy it? Luo Feng couldn't do it. It was destroyed so quickly and neatly. Even though there was the poison from the Yuntian God King, the power of the Emperor Gui Su still frightened Luo Feng. As expected, he handed over the secret treasure and was able to reincarnate even under the siege of the 3 emperors' long-planned killing moves. Moreover, what he is showing at this moment are probably just some ordinary moves, not desperate killing moves. It's not that difficult. Emperor Gui Su observed the purple flowers with a smile. These 7 purple heart realm flowers are all of good quality. Wu Exine, you can pick them. The Wu Exine God King nodded. Luo Feng and Yuntian God King watched from the side. This was all planned in advance. Among the 4 of them, Wu Exine God King has the strongest ability to protect his life and is the most suitable to carry treasures. They will distribute them after they leave the Dream Domain. According to the prior agreement, Emperor Gui Su and Wu Exine God King each accounted for 35%. Luo he needed to explore the way and accounted for 20%, and Yuntian God King accounted for 10%. In the harsh environment of the Dream Domain, exploring the way is extremely important. If anyone makes a significant contribution during the process, we will have friendly discussions afterwards to adjust the distribution ratio. Wu Exine God King was very skilled and picked all 7 purple heart flowers. Then he looked at Luo Feng and said with a smile, "Brother Luo, how many treasures we can get depends on how many you can find. We're already trying very hard to find it," Luo Feng said. The 9 clones he sent out were heading to one area after another regardless of the danger. Luo Feng and his team were very efficient. On average, they discovered a treasure every 1 or 2 days. These treasures were of great help to the second level of God King and were very valuable. Luo Feng was in a very good mood. According to the 20% ratio, he could earn at least millions of merits every time. This was much faster than earning money from the guest mission of the Flame Wind Ancient Kingdom. Emperor Gui Su, Wu Exine God King, and Yuntian God King were all very calm because they were used to it. For Emperor Gui Su at this level, it was normal to come to the Dream Domain and earn hundreds of millions of merits. Of course, if you fail and die here, the loss will be huge. Emperor Gui Su and Yuntian God King have both died in battle in various treasured places. They have died in battle more than once. They had already condensed part of the chaotic origin bloodline from their true bodies and preserved it in the outside world. They only needed enough treasures to nourish them, and then they could cultivate it again. Except for the time when he died and reincarnated on his own initiative, the Wu Exine God King had never died while adventuring in the treasure land. In this space, I have been allocated more than 10 million merit treasures. According to the plan, I am going to explore the 5 spaces in the middle layer of the Dream Domain. Luo Feng thought. The more space you explore, the more accidents are likely to occur. This accident may come from the Dream Domain itself, or from other practitioners. The 5 spaces were determined by Emperor Gui Su and his men based on past experience. After exploring the 5 spaces, Luo Feng estimated that the gain should be over 100 million merits. This is the resource that the truly powerful people in the origin continent value. Compared with these treasured lands, the resources brought by ruling a kingdom are not that attractive. It's just that the ordinary God Kings, Chaos Realm, disciples, and family clans under their command need the territory more. The team from the Two Worlds Palace was also exploring this mountain and forest space. The white-haired palace master suddenly raised his head and looked into the distance. The other 6 second-level God Kings in the team all looked at the palace master. They all trusted the palace master's abilities. Interesting. After locking onto a breath, the white-haired palace master raised his head and looked into the distance. His gaze followed the breath through the endless distance and saw Luo Feng and his team taking action. It's the team from the Samsara building, and one of them is Gui Su. The white-haired palace master said with a smile. When moving around in the treasure land, one's identity is hidden. In this way, even if one obtains precious treasures, the origin continent will not know the true identity of the strong person who obtained the treasure. But Emperor Gui Su doesn't care. He is also not allowed to be seen in the outside world. Samsara building? Them again? The 6 second-level God Kings behind him were all hostile. Although there are few members in the Samsara building, they have fought for treasures time and time again. But the Two Worlds Palace has lost more than they have won and suffered a lot of losses, so naturally the hostility has grown. Since we have met old friends from the Samsara building, we must give them some gifts, the white-haired palace master said. The group of dream creatures we discovered before is very protective of their own people. Jiyu. Go to that group of creatures and capture a creature, and lead that group of dream creatures to the Samsara building team. Let the dream domain creatures inflict heavy damage on them first, and then we will take action to kill them all in one fell swoop. We will kill as many of their real bodies as we can. The white-haired palace master had a cold look in his eyes. He united the members of the Two Worlds Palace, but towards those who are not members of the Two Worlds Palace and other forces competing with him for treasures, he has never been merciful. Palace master, leave it to me. The winged woman was also very excited. I don't know how many dream spaces this Samsara team has explored. I guess the harvest is not small. If we destroy their real bodies, we may get some treasures. This Samsara building destroyed my real body last time. They were all hostile. Luofeng and his other three were drinking and enjoying delicious food by the lake. Of course, Luofeng's 9 clones continued to search for treasure. We'll have to search for treasures a few more times in this forest, and it will be almost done. Emperor Guisu said, we can go to a dream space.
Yes.
Luofeng nodded. We have taken all the treasures that are easier to obtain. The following treasures are indeed heavily guarded. Some are guarded by ultimate-level dream domain creatures, and some are guarded by a large group of dream domain creatures. The Wu Xian God King suddenly frowned and turned to look into the distance. Emperor Guisu, Yuntian God King, and Luofeng also became alert, but their sensing abilities were far inferior to that of Wu Xian God King. Suddenly, a winged woman appeared from nothingness, holding a stone monster, and rushed towards Luofeng and his group. From the Two Worlds Palace? Although they didn't know the real identity of the winged woman, Emperor Guisu and the others had seen her in disguise many times. Here's a gift for you. The winged woman sneered. The winged woman was carrying the stone monster, and when they got close to Emperor Guisu and his men, they suddenly exploded as if they were hit by an invisible wave, and both the winged woman and the stone monster were blown to pieces. They saw towering stone monsters appearing from the void, followed by smaller stone monsters. At first glance, there were hundreds of stone monsters densely packed together. These stone monsters stood in midair, some even shedding tears, and then looked at Luofeng and the other three with endless hatred. Their anger made the entire world begin to turn blood red, and their might frightened Luofeng and the others. At this moment, in the distance, the Two Worlds Palace team, led by the Palace Master, was watching this scene with the help of secret methods.